So let's continue solving absolute value inequality with greater than or equal. Graph the solution and write the solution in interval notation. So now we have absolute value of x plus 2 greater or equal to 3. Just like we did in the previous example, in my previous videos, this is equivalent to whatever's inside here, the absolute value. So x plus 2, you flip the inequality, less than or equal, opposite of 3 is negative 3, or whatever's inside the absolute value, x plus 2 greater or equal to 3. So this is the same as that after you remove the absolute value. So now we need to solve. So what we need to do is we need to subtract 2 on both sides of the inequality. Remember, you need to isolate x. So now we have x, this cancels, and this gives me less than or equal. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. And we're going to do the same thing here. We also need to isolate the variable. So we need to subtract x, 2. So that gives us x, this cancels, greater or equal, 3 minus 2 is 1. So the solution is x less than or equal to negative 5 or x is greater or equal to 1. Since we have compound inequality with or, both of them are part of the solution. So x less than or equal to negative 5, negative 5 is included, so we're going to have a bracket on negative 5 and anything to the left of negative 5. Or x is greater or equal to 1, so we're going to have a bracket on 1 and anything to the right of 1. And this is the graph of the solution. Writing it in interval notation, the solution becomes a union. So that's going from negative infinity to negative 5. Negative 5 is included, so put a bracket on negative 5, union, anything to the right of 1, and 1 is included, so from 1 all the way to infinity. And here's the solution in interval notation. Okay, so let's do one more problem here. Number 4 here. Absolute value of z plus 1 greater than negative 2. Now, before you do anything, please take a look at this inequality. What are they telling us? They're telling us the absolute value of z plus 1 is greater than negative 2. But isn't that always the case? The absolute value of z plus 1 will always be positive, which means the absolute value of z plus 1 will always be greater than negative 2. So that's always true. So what is the solutions? The solution, all the real numbers. All the real numbers, since the absolute value will always be greater than any negative number, which means will always be greater than negative 2. So if you want to graph it on the number line, it's all the number line. So anything on the number line here is a solution. Now the solution in interval notation, since any value on the number line is a solution, so it's going to be from negative infinity to infinity.